Thanks for tuning in to Unravel JA. This week, the focus is on Jamaica's skyrocketing crime rate and whether or not the Jamaican public thinks hanging, more formally known as capital punishment, can bring a dramatic decrease to this situation. Should be an interesting watch. It's time to listen to the people.
Unravel JA, test them, dig up the truth with the problem, never gonna stop till we solve them. Unravel JA, the real media. Unravel JA, test them, dig up the truth with the problem, never gonna stop till we solve them. Unravel JA, the real media. Unravel JA.
According to a report published by Statista.com in July of 2023, Jamaica had the highest homicide rate in Latin America with 52.9 homicides per 100,000 individuals for the year of 2022. Given this high homicide rate, do you think the reintroduction of hanging will deter this level of criminality? If not in agreement, what strategies do you think the government can use to curb the high crime rate?
I don't think so. I don't think so because I have spoken to persons, young men, and a lot of them say they're not going to live to see 30. They're expecting to die. They're not afraid of death, in other words. So I really don't think it will deter. I think love, nothing is as powerful as love. People want to be loved. They want to know that they're loved. And I think that's what we need, more love. We can have meetings inviting young men, tell them that because of our love and care for them, we are having this meeting for them to express themselves, tell us what they're thinking, tell us what they believe, tell us what they want, and that is how we are going to find out how. To me, that is an expression of love. Inviting them into a conversation, having a serious conversation with them, listening to them, and applying some of the positive things that they're saying towards them.
I do not agree to capital punishment because the Bible says thou shalt not kill. If you as a politician say you love each and every one of us, then you would not hurt us. And capital punishment would set us back a lot because if I as a criminal know that that's my punishment, then why not take everyone with me? And that's not cool. And that's not okay. And that would not, you get what I mean? So there needs to be other alternatives and steps taken. And you notice that I also suggested them because, as I said, you can't just point out a problem without solutions. Find the root cause. I am not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a detective, so I can't tell you how to do it. All I am saying is, go to these. They don't even go to these communities. They don't even go to these communities. They don't know what's happening. They don't know your struggles. How can you relate to me if you don't know my struggles? That's the thing. You don't go to these communities. You don't organize football matches. You don't organize pep rallies. You don't organize mental health days. You don't organize emotional health days. You don't organize physical health days. What I'm saying is, love yourself, love God, love others, and everything that you've ever wanted will be rewarded to you. Yeah.
Judging by the stats of how this generation is going, the mindset of the youths are changing gradually. They don't think like we in the 90s or the 80s kids. So maybe it will change or maybe not. And if that don't change things, God alone can help me. Right now, I swear. The mindset of the younger generation, business, I'm not respect. No, I'm not law, no. So maybe or maybe not. But I feel try and see still. All the way we can find every try.
Well, I don't think any one implementation can deteriorate the crime rate, right? Because we all have the opportunity to choose, first of all. And so when it comes on to hanging, it's a multiplex question because you can do it and persons will be afraid to do something to be hanged. But then you can do it and persons can't afford the legal representative to get themselves out if they're not guilty. So when you look at the two balances, you have to find something that kind of meet the people halfway, at least, right? And for me, I think most of the unemployment issue and uneducational issues in Jamaica is what prevents that and heightens the crime rate because they have nothing else to do, right? Them people to feed them of them, parents to feed them of them, wife to feed, I'm not saying it is right, but some of the main causes is because of probably uneducational and probably unemployment. And those are two mainstream I think Jamaica needs to focus on more than the hanging issue. That's just my point of view.
I believe that hanging should be introduced. You understand? The only thing I disagree with the whole hanging process is that when somebody is found guilty, whatever, the long stay and before the actual execution, you understand? It leads to some amount of inhumanity. Some amount of inhumanity. Therefore, if a person is found to be guilty, you know so the person killed the picnic them. You know so and the person come a court plead guilty. So him kill or him strangle the little girl or whatever, and it's facts that him do it. No need to go through the whole length and 10 yards to keep him on death row and all those things. That aspect of the law is cruel to people. Therefore, they should look at the law and say, listen to me now, if the person do it, it is obvious them do it, everything is there, written in stone, backed by the law, put him at the gallows. It should reduce crime rate, because I don't want to sound too old, but I remember a couple of years back, I think they had hanging, and it never saw crime rate, never so prevalent. You understand? It never so much. No people realize that them can kill a person and go sit down for 20 years, and them say them not spend the full 20 calendar year, but spend what, 10 years and whatever, and come back a road. No, them eat up taxpayers' money. We out at work, that amount of money could have gone to education, it could have gone to creating other institutions to ameliorate other people living standards. So why spend the country resources on maintaining quote-unquote evil? You understand? Get rid of them. If them kill, get rid of them. Make them feel it. It should deter them. If that never deter them, then them really not belong in a society. So when they get them, it does not even try them too hard. They just get rid of them.
In terms of hanging, I don't agree much on it, right? Because taking a life is basically not in our hands, right? But I do understand that the crime rate is high, right? And one thing that I would say about it is basically cut it from the source, cut it from the root. You get me? It does not make sense that we are trying to keep it down and just look at the surface, right? I mean, always look at that first. You get me? See where the suppliers are, cut them off, right? So that the crime can go down. That's my take on it. As I said, I'm not too much for the hanging because the power is not in our hands to take a life, right? And whenever you do take a life, looking at it from a spiritual background, only God can cleanse the blood. And him alone pay for each and every life on this earth. So I mean, if them just cut the source, find love, find Christ, them good. That is it.
One, to be honest, if them bring in back the hanging, I feel like say they stop a lot of crime. Because too much innocent people getting hurt, and when I check it out, them do it and then go back, and them not have nothing for sorry, like them are gonna get a caught up a real punishment, so they just constant do it. So if them bring it back, it's gonna be 100% thumbs up, say. It will take a big curve.
Yes, I do think it could curve the number. However, given the society we live in, you do know you have Jamaicans who probably, frankly, don't care. But personally, I do think it could do something. Maybe if it's not a big number, it change it a little bit. If you know you're gonna get hung if you do certain stuff, then yeah, more than likely.
The high crime rate cannot be solved by hanging. You need opportunities for the youth. They need skill training. They need love and opportunity. That is what they need. Training, skill, opportunity, love. Hanging, not going to help the situation.
If the government should bring back hanging in Jamaica, I don't think that would help to stem the tide of criminality and murder in the country. I think what we need to do is to bring back the principles in the homes. The homes are where children are grown, and that's where characters are built. I think that the homes we have abdicated our homes. We no longer bring up children in the fear and admonition of God. The people who are here today who are keeping the fabric of the society, the majority of them will tell you they grew up in Sunday school. They went to school, and in school we had devotions and we sang Christian songs, and that's the reason why so many of the persons who are not involved in criminality today are who they are, and we are the fabric of society. The education alone cannot do it. We need God and godly lifestyle in this country. And no matter how many people get education and have money, that alone cannot do. We need godly living. You don't have to be a Christian if you don't want to. Nobody don't force you to be a Christian. But even when I was growing up, even if people were not Christians, they lived a godly lifestyle in front of their children. Too many of us put our children on the altar for all kind of lifestyle, and they see it and they know, and they're not interested in it, so they go and then do all kinds of things, and then we put our head on our heads and bow. We need to take our hands off our head, get to work, and try to build character in the children from the homes. And then when they go to school, the teachers won't have so much problem with them. And so we, as a society, forget government. Government can't manage 3 point something million people. Everybody need to take responsibility for their life and their lifestyle. And that's my few words. I'm mad about it. And we need to do something about it. Let the government alone, make them build this society and get jobs and do all of the things that they are supposed to do. The parents must build character in their children so they don't even think it. Go to church, man. Serve Jesus. Make him help you. Bless Jamaica, land we love. Bring back Jamaica.
Well, my business then shout out Clean Game Production, coming from Clarendon, Matches then. One love, same man.
Well, yeah, right now we have a social media, Raggy, my artist, my brethren. Check him out on YouTube, Raggy so insane. Music are going good, but when you like and follow and share, yeah.